Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas, your source for Ford news, update, and information with a video on the 2023 Bronco and Bronco Sport. So we are going to combine these into one video because it actually is on the same trim for both vehicles. So we're going to cover some information, some updates to the order guide, and some updates to something that I've gotten a lot of questions about that I just feel like everybody needs to be out there in the community. Everybody needs to know so they can know all the details about this so that when they get their Bronco in, it's what they expected and what they know is going to be, what will be happening. And there's something you can do to your order real quick by the dealer to make sure that you get what you're wanting. So we're gonna dive in and talk about this. If you like staying up to date on news information, maybe even get the full building price. If you're looking to build out a vehicle, any type of Ford vehicle, you probably like our YouTube channel. So hit that red subscribe button. Actually, it's not red anymore. Hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you can stay notified next time with another video uploaded to our YouTube channel. So let's dive in and talk about this. So we're going to talk about the Bronco Sport first, and then we're going to talk about the Bronco. So those with the Bronco, you got to wait a little bit to the end. I'll have a timestamp below. You can skip through the Bronco Sport if you really want to, but I'll put a timestamp on each of these. But for the Bronco Sport, there are some things that have changed for what we call Job 2, which means when production started for 2023, they had an order guide. This is how we're going to build our vehicles for Job 1. And so about halfway through the year, halfway through production, things can change during production, that first half. And so sometimes they have to update it and make what they call a Job 2. So they stop the production line, they make some tweaks and changes, update the order guide of what they're going to do for the second half of the year. And that's considered Job 2. So one of the changes for the Bronco Sport is that they're upgrading for Job 2. They're going to be changing the roof on a couple different trims. So let me talk about these. So this is on the Bronco Sport. If you look at the Outer Banks and the Badlands. So in Job 1, that had a painted black roof with standard equipment on that. In fact, let me go ahead and pull this up on the website. I'm gonna actually look at both Bronco and Bronco Sport. So I have those already up. So on the Bronco Sport, you can see Outer Banks and Badlands. They come with a painted black roof here. So if I click into the Outer Banks, and they still have not updated the building price yet. So Job 2 is starting to be produced and being scheduled for production this month, which means everything scheduled this month will be a Job 2 production build for producing in the month of May. So April they'll finish out April for Job 1s, and then Job 2s will start in May production. And so that's what you're going to be scheduling for. So you can see Outer Banks, this is an eruption green. It will have a painted black roof is standard on the Job 1. That is going to be body colored now. So basically, just like you'd see in the Big Ben trim, when you go to the Outer Banks, you're not going to see an upgrade to changing that to a black roof. But you can still add it as optional equipment. So it's still going to be an option. So standard will be body colored painted roof up here. But you can still, as an option, get the black painted roof. So little details on this. It is $500 extra cost for that. So wanted to make sure you know that it's not a no-cost option. It will cost you money. So an extra $500 now if you want the black painted roof. So whereas Job 1, it was included, black painted roof. Now you're going to pay $500 to get the black painted roof on the Outer Banks. Now let's talk a little bit about the Badlands edition, which also is going to be standard, the painted body colored roof, I should say. So let's click over to it so you can see what that looks like. So standard on this, you can see this is a cactus gray, is the black painted roof. Now again, with the Outer Banks, or the Badlands, I'm sorry, this also is now optional. So it will come with body colored roof as well. So this is, again, a change for Job 2. You'll see that on any Job 2 order. So if you even had an order in before the switch over, you're going to need to talk to your dealer to make sure they add the black painted roof. We see why this is important to make sure we cover, so that you can go into your dealership and say, hey, I know mine has not been produced yet, or been scheduled for production. At this point, it's a Job 2 production. I want the black painted roof. Now it's optional. That's why there's a little bit of gap, and why they didn't schedule much this week in the last couple of weeks is because it gives dealers time to make those changes. So you'll want to make sure you talk to your if you're a customer out there, talk to your dealers and say, hey, I want this. Now again, just on the Badlands edition, just like the Outer Banks, it will cost $500 extra to get the black painted roof. But as you look down here for options on the exterior, it's not going to be showing yet because it's not in here. So it says body colored roof is a no cost option if you want to go over to it. But you also have the option for the painted carbonized gray roof. See, it says included there. But hopefully they update this real soon and get that fixed. But now carbonized gray roof is not a cost. I did double check that because I thought, well, if you're going to charge for the black painted roof, wouldn't you charge for the gray on the Badlands edition? Looked at the updated pricing list, and this is updated as of 3/10. So they did just update this to add $500 for the black painted roof, still saying carbonized gray is no charge to upgrade to that. So there you go. There's the information. Outer Banks body colored roof. If you want the black, it costs you $500 more on anything that gets scheduled from here on out. You might want to make sure you have, if you want the black painted, you're okay with the $500. You want to make sure your dealership adds the black painted roof. You have to add that option, which is option 21S to your order. On the Badlands edition, it again coming with body colored roof. If you want the black one, $500 more for option 21S for that. If you want the carbonized gray at no extra cost, it is option 21R needs to be added, and that's not really a change for the carbonized gray because that's the way it was before. So that's all the information on the Bronco Sport. Wanted to make sure everybody was updated with that information so they can be educated and make sure they get what they want when their vehicle comes in, because I'd hate for you guys to not make any changes to your order. Then when your Outer Banks comes in, you go, why is it body colored? It should be black. That's what's standard. And I could already see this happening here in about a month, 2 months. We're going to start seeing vehicles being delivered with a body colored roof on their Outer Banks or the Badlands, and people are going to be irate about it. So I want to make sure everybody is in the know about that. Now let's talk about the Bronco. So Bronco is a pretty similar. It actually has to do with the Outer Banks and the Badlands edition as well. So I've had some people reach out. I'm gonna actually go back over the camera for a second. I've actually had people reach out to me because they know I'm very educated on this and say, hey, we were seeing vehicles that are Outer Banks and Badlands showing up without the LED headlights. And I'm like, LED headlights are standard equipment on those vehicles. Why would they show up without it? It says, well, there's a $500 credit that we're getting, and it's saying base LED headlights or something like that. And so I did look back and said, you know what, there was something about that in the order guide. So if you do look at the order guide on the Bronco Outer Banks, it does say it comes standard with the LED with LED signature lighting. So you're getting the signature lighting. Badlands has the same wording, LED headlights with the LED signature lighting. But if you do go to the options, there's an option, 91V, that says base LED headlights, contains LED tail lights. Tip says this is in place of signature lighting. So instead of getting the LED headlights, you're gonna get LED headlights still and LED tail lights, but you won't get LED signature lighting on the vehicle. Instead, you're gonna get those. So basically, it says in here, note, required option when feature is not available. So right now, this feature is available. That has never been a constraint. So what Ford did on this is they put this in the order guide so they can continue production, because if it's not on the order guide, the factory cannot make it that way. And so Ford made this available in case there was a constraint on that item, that they could add that option, the option to it really quick and continue the production of the vehicles that got scheduled. And that's why the option is in here. Some dealers went ahead and added that option to customers' orders, and that's why they're showing up without the LED headlights. So what you need to do is, if you have an order of an Outer Banks or a Badlands and you want your LED headlights, you need to make sure that your dealership does not have option 91V on your order sheet. That it show an actual reduction in your cost. It'll show a $500 credit. So you want to make sure you kind of look for that $500 credit and see if it's on there. Make sure they remove that. So let me show you a little bit about what that is exactly. So here is the Bronco here. Let's go into the Outer Banks real quick. Now the signature lighting is the LED light on the outside. Can you guys see my cursor? It is the LED light on the outside of the headlight. So LED in here, this over here is actually your turn signal on the Broncos. And it's going to be white when you're not turning. So you want to make sure that the LED light that's on the outside rim, that is your LED light. In fact, if you scroll down, let's go to exterior here for a second. Scroll down, it actually shows you on the order guide, that it says included, and if you click on that, you can kind of see that a little bit closer. So it's that outer ring is your LED light there. So that is standard equipment. You do not have to add this option. It is not a constraint. They will still get scheduled. I actually did go through and look at all of our orders we have. I looked all over the Outer Banks and Badlands that are already scheduled for production, and all of them do not have this option added. They will all get the LED headlights. So and the LED signature lighting. So we've had customers asking me, hey, are your customers showing up without it? Because looks like they're having a problem with those and they're not showing up with them. The problem is with the dealer. Actually, the dealer added that option to your order when they didn't need to. So it is not a problem. So even if your vehicle has been scheduled, your dealer can try to amend your order. So I recommend if you have a scheduled build date, if you're far enough out from that scheduled build date, have your dealership go into your order and remove that option. So they go into the order, even if it's scheduled, they can do this. Try to amend the order, take off that option, resubmit it to the factory. It takes about 24 hours. They'll tell you they're going to see if they can amend it, and then 24 hours later, you go back, look at your order. You can see if it's been updated and whether or not they approved that amendment. Basically, whatever's on your order is what they're going to build. So if they approve it after they've looked at it, you will not see the LED, the discount for the removing the LED headlight or LED signature lighting, I should say. So have your dealership try to do that. If you have an unscheduled order, easy to do. Go in, have them remove that option, and make sure it's on there. So if I were you, whether you have an unscheduled or a scheduled Bronco, Outer Banks, or Badlands, look on your order sheet. See if you have that discount of $500 or that credit, and see if that option 91V is on your order. And if it is, I would march into your dealership if you want this option, I should say. Go into your dealership and ask them to remove that for you as soon as possible so that your Bronco gets built the way you want it with the LED signature lighting. So I wanted to make sure I keep everybody updated on information like this. I don't want any surprises. I hate seeing customers, get their vehicles and it's not what they thought they were getting. It's not the order that they thought they were getting. And there are some commodity constraints that are out there. There are some issues that Ford can't make vehicles. Removing heated steering wheel on certain items, removing the reduced amplifier on the Bronco stereo, which is already kind of a struggle on the stock radios anyway. We don't need any more reduced amplification on the stereo and different items like that. Dealerships that don't have a lot of orders, but they're getting allocations on Broncos can also order a Big Ben Bronco. On those, they're actually removing the navigation. Haven't mentioned in my videos because most of our order holders and most of the people out there are all retails because there's just so many orders still yet to produce. But they're doing that, and we're going to see that probably come into play at the launch of the order banks opening up here in just a little bit. But I want to make sure everybody's updated. They know what they're getting. They know what to do if theirs is not correct and what they need to do. So definitely work with your dealerships, make sure they're all correct, make sure it is what is going to happen to your vehicle here coming up. And so I wanted to get this video out because I did find this out over the weekend and want to make sure you guys have all of the juicy details on that. Again, if you like these types of videos, want to stay updated on what's going on with your Ford vehicle, then subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you can be notified next time we have another video uploaded to the channel. And don't forget to check out our live stream. We actually talk about constraints like this on our live stream every week, and we'll also be clipping those out for separate videos as well. So if you're subscribed, you don't have to come over to the live stream to get that information. Those will go out the days Wednesday, Thursday after the live stream. But if you want it at the time, right away, then check out our live stream. We also do live Q&A where I answer your questions live on air on our YouTube channel, 7 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday night here right on Lawn McArthur's YouTube channel. Okay, that's enough of that. Thank you again for watching the video. Hope you give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the information. You may not like the information, but if you appreciate me sharing it with you, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And until the next video, don't forget to stay positive, be kind to one another, be kind to yourself, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.